This strip, Solot Plaza, really just stood out to me as like, something I just had to. Hey, so I'm here at a strip mall or strip shopping center on Broadway Boulevard. Yeah, Broadway Boulevard here in Tucson, Arizona. One of the major sort of commercial strips, commercial highways leading into downtown Tucson is just down there to the west somewhere. It's not very far. It's, I don't know, I would say less than 2 miles maybe. Yeah, this is, I guess this is this, I don't know if this is the name of the shopping center here, Solot Plaza. That might be it, Solot Plaza. I thought it was a good, almost kind of a good preview of what I think is to come in the economy, and for a lot of commercial property, a lot of these commercial strips that you see around all over America, really. I kind of wanted to get almost like a before and after, although this shop is already kind of like an after in a way. I mean, I think this is going to be what a lot more shopping strips are going to look like, as 2020 progresses, and especially into 2021, whether we're entering a severe recession or an actual depression. I think it might be more like a depression, really, the severity of it and the length of it. But in any case, it's going to be pretty severe, and commercial real estate is really, I think, going to take a huge battering, even relative to other, maybe even relative to regular, sort of residential real estate. Although that too, I think, is going to take a serious blow. But I guess I should give a little more context. This is March 31st, 2020, in the middle of the whole coronavirus or COVID-19 outbreak. Here's my car. You can see I'm the only car in this whole area. I should also explain a little more. First let me just take a look in here. Just like all these shops, or most of these shops, it's pretty empty. It'd be interesting if these shops even survive, or if they're not knocked down. It'd be interesting to maybe see what what becomes of them, or what they could be turned into, sort of a retrofit, urban or suburban retrofit type of scenario. The shops up and down this Broadway here is a bit of a special case. This isn't due just to sort of economic conditions, even though I think a lot of the country is going to start to resemble this. This is more due to a local project here in Tucson to expand the highway here, to expand Broadway. I think it's for a few years. The project has been planned for a few years, and so these shops have been in this condition, or have been pretty much abandoned, and other similar ones up and down Broadway for quite a while now. But I don't remember if 3 years ago they were quite in this condition, although the state of the kind of disrepair and overgrowth and stuff, it certainly looks like things have been pretty abandoned here for quite a while. I mean, I would say a good bit more than a year, right? I mean, it looks pretty rough. Just look at all the, I would say even a lot of malls and whatnot are going to be having a lot of stuff like this, a lot of overgrowth. Look at this tree in here, this kind of weird desert plant. Look, it's just kind of growing willy-nilly. You can imagine when whatever this shop was, right now there's, I guess, an architecture firm in here, but whatever was going on in here, I'm sure they kept this plant a little more trim, right? Now it's just kind of going haywire. Who knows, might be knocking the roof off in another few years, if it's even still here, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they would knock these down or just use them for something different. Maybe make some apartments out of them. I don't know. Who knows what they could do? Probably not shops, though. I don't think they're going to be needing nearly as many shops all over the country as they've had for the past few decades. You know, so you can see. I think you got a similar situation up and down Broadway here, as you kind of in the few miles sort of outside of downtown. Some cars over there, so I guess there's some business going on over there, but not a lot. Then again, I think at least for Tucson here, maybe for the whole state of Arizona, I think later today is actually, I think the governor put out some kind of decree or rule or whatever that like all non-essential businesses are supposed to be closed down and people are supposed to stay at home or whatever. I mean, people have kind of, I guess, been doing that already to a degree here in Arizona, but maybe now it's going to become even more sort of strict in that regard. It's kind of nice. I like some of these sort of flower bushes here on, I guess, it must be the main entrance to this plaza, but clearly they're not being maintained very well. Although, you know, nice to see some flowers kind of blooming. Oh, look down here, cash loans on car titles, loan backs. That's going to be an interesting industry to keep an eye on. You know, especially in a really severely depressed economy. You know, people are already under a lot of stress, sort of paycheck to paycheck situation. Yeah, I can see that industry booming in a relative fashion in the years to come. You know, just straight down the line, all along this strip, you can see it's just the same situation. Everything is abandoned. You know, I mean, just look at again, I mean, I can't imagine these shops have been empty for too many years, and yet everything is just, you know, look at the state of even the parking lot is like kind of falling apart. It's just cluttered with all kinds of junk, and it's got, you know, broken, whatever you call these things at the top of the parking spaces. The foliage is all overgrown, and I mean, not to mention just the parking lot. You can see all along the top of the parking lot, edge of the parking lot, is being overgrown. Not to mention the actual plants that I guess were at one time were actually being maintained and were there for aesthetic, you know, decoration and whatnot. I think this is a very interesting sort of an illustrative example of what we can expect. You know that, you know, the country is full of this kind of stuff. Maybe not in this condition, some of it is obviously, but just these kinds of, you know, shops, these kinds of commercial strips, you know, and man, if the population is under increasing financial stress and strain, and I mean just dramatic layoffs that are happening right now, and of course are probably going to continue to ripple through the economy, you know, in weeks and even months ahead. See, there's still an office here that's still doing some kind of business. It's still, I mean, they're still there to some degree. Doesn't look too full, but maybe they got a skeleton crew still working there. Yeah, but you know, this strip, Solot Plaza, really just stood out to me as, like, you know, something I just had to get a record of or document of, just with everything going on and with my outlook. I don't know if I'm overly pessimistic, or, you know, I've been following the sort of a lot of the vicissitudes of the, you know, economy, at least since 2008. Became kind of fascinated by economics and the economy and the state of things and what was actually happening versus what we were, you know, commonly being told was happening, you know, by sort of the talking heads and the media and politicians and all of that. And yeah, a lot of things maybe coming home to roost. A lot of issues are coming to a head, and the virus is really, I guess, exacerbating and expediting a lot of things. But there were going to be rough times. That's happening sooner or later, as far as I'm concerned. And this COVID coronavirus thing is definitely like I say, sort of exacerbating a lot of that and sort of expediting it, bringing it on even quicker and sooner than it might otherwise have happened. But it's not just the virus, it's economics, just the economy itself and the underlying structural issues and problems have a lot to do with what's going to be happening as well. And the virus, the virus is sort of the catalyst in a way for a much bigger sort of chemical reaction or chain reaction that is going to, I think, is really going to be more devastating than people are realizing, or that are people perhaps that are more in the know are admitting or letting on. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm intending to try and document things as they go along more and more, and try to cover some of the reality of what's happening, and to discuss it as well as best I can, and and just, I don't know, just hash things out. I think that'll be it for now. I managed to actually get all this in one continuous video, so that's interesting. I thought I was maybe going to take a bunch of a couple different separate videos and sort of cobble them all together, but yeah, I might go to some other locations to chat a little bit, to observe things and take some video. So I don't know, but those will be separate videos. Yeah, I think that'll be it for now. So again, here at Solot Plaza on just off Broadway Boulevard in Tucson. This might be the future. The future. Oh boy. Look out. See ya.